Considering that was only your 7th lesson, it was quite okay. But you need to improve by 85%, I'd say.
Talitha Kumi was established as a home for Arab girls in Jerusalem in 1851. Today, the Lutheran school is the oldest and most prestigious in the Palestinian territories. To reach the school on the outskirts of Bethlehem, Hans Niehaus has to pass through the checkpoint between Israel and the Palestinian territories. He's the new music teacher at Talitha Kumi. Niehaus views his new job as an exciting challenge.
I don't expect it to be the kingdom of heaven with all imaginable technical equipment and instruments. On the contrary, I expect it'll be rather Spartan. But that's the challenge, to build up something. I know that the Barenboim Foundation and Brass for Peace also support the program. So I think there's enough happening to enable us to achieve something together musically. Then, of course, it's crucial to introduce that music to the public.
Here in a region where Jews, Christians, and Muslims are continuously in conflict, the Talitha Kumi school is trying to make a contribution to overcoming violence and level the path to peace. Talitha Kumi overlooks the Palestinian town of Beit Jala, some 10 kilometers from Jerusalem. The name is Aramaic and means "little girl, arise," words which St. Mark's Gospel says Jesus used when he cured the daughter of a synagogue official. Regular worship is part of school life here. This service marked the opening of the academic year. High-ranking representatives of the German Lutheran Church were present, along with the bishop of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Jordan and the Holy Land, and Palestinian education officials. For the induction of Talitha Kumi's new principal, Rolf Lindemann.
As the principal of Talitha Kumi, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Like his predecessors, the new head has a personal agenda. Besides maintaining high academic standards, he wants to resolve the old conflicts by making young people more sensitive to other religions and cultures.
There are Israeli settlements to the left and to the right. Route 60 was built on property belonging to the residents of Al-Khadr village. The construction of a tunnel section caused the foundations of houses in the vicinity to become unstable. If you look around, the Israeli occupation forces are everywhere. There are high walls surrounding Beit Jala, Herodion, and all the properties, including the settlements. That has an effect on our teachers and pupils. They often have problems getting to school in the morning and going home. Because of these barriers, many arrive late. Also because they have to walk here.
It's clear that the teachers at Talitha Kumi are working under difficulties. Yet all of the staff is convinced that the ingrained historical conflicts can only be resolved by new attitudes. It's vital to begin with the children at an early age to break down the enemy's stereotypes. Rolf Lindemann faces his new job as principal full of confidence.
They say Talitha Kumi is a family, but Beit Jala is also a family. We've been received with great kindness, for which we're very grateful. We hope we can achieve something at this school and in this country.
Our schools, including Talitha Kumi, are very important for building a modern civil society in Palestine. They are very important in promoting the role of women. They are very important for promoting, you see, cultural exchanges. They are important, you see, to understand the other who is different politically or religiously or culturally, and really we teach them peace education. And for me, peace education is very essential. What does peace education mean? Is how do you live with the other, with the neighbor. Who is my neighbor, even if the enemy?
For the music teacher as well, pupils learning to play in tune with one another is part of peace education. But first, they have to learn their instruments. Hans Niehaus starts with rhythm and percussion because these elements are natural to every human being. In this way, prejudices are overcome.
Please look at me. I said, put down all your drumsticks, please.
Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4.
With gentle authority, Hans Niehaus succeeds in getting his pupils to concentrate. From time to time, at least.
Und wieder 1. Down, that's 2. Versause. Und wieder 1. Stopp. Zuhören finde ich ja eigentlich.
I think listening is incredibly interesting and also important. All I've noticed here so far is that everyone talks a lot. They're always talking in the staff room and in class. People talk a lot in the corridors and the streets. They're always talking. But I don't have the feeling they really listen to each other. That's why they repeat themselves so much. I think by listening, you achieve a result. We also have to try to achieve that in music. I think these kids will get there.
Okay. Dann packen wir's.
But it sometimes happens that the boys and girls import into the school the violence they experience daily in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So school mediators are now being trained at Talitha Kumi, arbitrators who are taught the skills of mediating in conflict situations and bringing about a peaceful solution.
There are conflicts everywhere, in Germany as well as here. But the reasons why people quarrel vary. I've observed that group conflicts are more common here than in Germany. Here, we've tried to mediate in cases where not just two people had problems with each other, but where all the friends were also involved. That's sometimes more difficult. It's a challenge in this context, where in some cases friends and various relatives are also drawn in.
Pupils are offered training workshops at regular intervals, and once a year, the mediators take part in a seminar away from the school. From age 10, the pupils also take classes in social competence. The intention is that they should apply these skills later, outside of the school environment as well.
I had problems with some students or maybe some teachers, and there was a part where we took in our workshops where we learned how to speak with the others and where we can explain to them how, our feelings and our needs without making the problem bigger. And so it helped us how to communicate and be better people.
The school mediator's goal is for more conflicts to be resolved at the pupil level in future, without teachers getting involved. About 40 pupils have completed the training so far. Even if there are still scraps and squabbles at school, the mediation model is certainly proving effective. Reconciliation is deeply rooted in the Talitha Kumi tradition. The idea of peaceful coexistence was an aim when the school was founded back in the 19th century. A special mediation room has recently been opened at the school. It's a place where conflicts can be discussed quietly and a solution found.
حابين نكون في زي اتفاقية بيننا عشان إنه تكون الأشياء أسهل. يعني مثلاً أول إشي حابين إنه كل واحد يكون له دور يحكي وما نقاطع بعض. تمام؟
At the end of the process, the conflict parties sign a contract, agreeing to resolve their future conflicts peaceably.
The teachers sometimes help the pupils solve their problems, but the same problems crop up again, especially when the teachers are busy with other pupils. That's why we get the pupils to sign a contract, and the mediators check whether the parties keep to the agreement. That usually works well.
The principal, Rolf Lindemann, is well acquainted with political tensions in the Palestinian territories. Compared with most other places here, Talitha Kumi is a foretaste of heaven.
My 10th grade maths class. What are you doing here?
Between classes, the pupils find a shady spot to relax and chat. The political conflict seems far away, and the hope of a peaceful solution appears realistic. The curriculum is demanding, and the pupils need their breaks. Their goal is the German International University entrance exam. Math, physics, history, and geography are taught in German. Additional subjects in English. The program requires dedication, motivation, hard work, and perseverance. The standard is high, but for those who pass the final exam, the career opportunities are virtually limitless. Since the beginning of the academic year 2008, Talitha Kumi has officially been recognized as a German international school. In the first 2 years, the pupils follow the Palestinian curriculum. They start to learn German in the 3rd grade. In the 7th, they can choose between studying for the National Palestinian University entrance or the German University entrance exam. The latter is recognized by all universities in Germany.
Today, a lot of maths problems are textual, so you have to have the language competence to understand them. When you consider how native speakers have a problem with that, I have to say that this class is really outstanding. I think they'll do very well preparing for the entrance exam.
And now I want you to sing much more clearly.
Special emphasis is placed on music lessons because children of all languages, cultures, and religions respond to music naturally. It appeals to all human beings and moves them. Making music together increases the ability to communicate and build relationships.
Nur so, einfach nur so. Nur so, einfach nur so.
Admittance to the kindergarten at Talitha Kumi is the start of a bright future for most of these children. They will be encouraged and supported for many years, and their individual talents developed at every stage. Girls and boys will be treated as equals, and disadvantaged children are also offered a future. In the end, most of these pupils will pass the university exam and go on to study for a degree. The children start learning by playing games, but even at this early stage, the parents are involved. The little ones are brought to school by their mothers or fathers and later picked up by them. The older children travel home by bus, accompanied by adults. Those who have no home to go to or come from broken families experience security and community life within the protective walls of the boarding section.
There are many reasons for boarding. A girl might live here because her home is far away and she wouldn't be able to travel to school. As you know, there are a lot of checkpoints here. Sometimes it's impossible to get to school on time in the morning.
The boarding section has a family atmosphere, but it also respects the private sphere. The young people do their homework alone or in the community, supervised by members of staff. Most of the boarders spend their free time here or on the school grounds. Personal development and education have always gone hand in hand at Talitha Kumi, even back in 1925. Today, the main focus is good schooling.
First, I want to pass my university entrance exam. Maybe I'll win a scholarship and go to Germany. That's my dream, to study in Germany.
About 40% of the pupils at Talitha Kumi come from Muslim families. Most of them are here because of the school's excellent reputation, but also because Islamic studies are taught here as well. The Muslim pupils study the Quran with their teacher, learn to read classical Arabic, and even learn some surahs by heart. The teacher explains the texts to the younger children. There are more than 50 teachers. Most of them are Palestinians from the area. Although the majority of Palestinians are Muslim, most of those teaching at Talitha Kumi are Christian, but the number of Christian families in the area is decreasing. Nevertheless, 62% of the Talitha Kumi pupils are Christian. In religious classes, they study the Bible and learn about the Christian faith and its values. But both the Muslim prayer room and the school chapel are open to everyone. And the same ethical and social principles apply to all the pupils at the school.
A modern school is run by teachers, parents and pupils together, and we've made a great start with that here. We're the first foreign school to have the same democratic structures as schools in Germany. We have pupil representation, a parents' committee and a school council. But they're still new institutions, and neither the parents nor the pupils really know yet how they're supposed to function.
The main purpose of developing democratic structures at Talitha Kumi is to increase the individual's sense of responsibility. But it's not always easy for teachers to be transparent about their work or allow parents and pupils a say in how lessons are taught. So it's important at the beginning of this process to reflect on the cooperative enterprise and set common goals.
Teachers and students today need to expand their knowledge and gain experience by working together. For instance, computers are used more and more in school. So we work together with non-educational institutions to improve and increase their use.
The aim of all these efforts is to equip pupils as well as possible to face the challenges of the future in a world that is continuously becoming more complex.
The school wants its students to think independently and learn to understand, not just learn by rote. We teach critical thinking, creative work, and we want the children to reflect. We want our students to learn during their school career how to solve their problems.
The most important thing in this world, in this life, how the people take decision. Some people, their life very bad because they cannot take a decision. Here, Talitha, sometimes we like and we support our students to let them take decisions. And the take decisions is very important thing and issue in the school.
In the contemporary world, a good education has become more than ever the most important factor in facing the future. But even back in the 1920s, the Lutheran deaconesses recognized that education was the girl's most valuable dowry. After 3 months of patient work, the music teacher can see that his pupils are definitely making progress.
Immer besser, sehr gut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Warum haben sich am Himmel Wolken versammelt?
Hans Niehaus helps his pupils express various moods by means of music. Chaos and order, solidarity and opposition, strength and weakness, escalation and de-escalation. Within the formal structure of playing together, they produce and experience a great variety of emotions.
Mr. Niehaus says you really have to listen to music. You have to concentrate.
When we make music, we have to listen to each other.
Then it sounds good.
When I look back over the past 3 months, I have to say the time has been extremely enjoyable. We've achieved a lot. And I think that's what Talitha Kumi is about. When people listen to each other, they understand one another better. That way you can avoid conflicts and are also perhaps able to open up to others you would otherwise avoid.
In place of the usual morning religious service, today there's an assembly in the schoolyard. First, the Palestinian anthem is played. The lyrics speak of fighting for the homeland. This pupil is singing about the way of peace in a song written for his mother. It celebrates all mothers who don't want to lose their sons in war.
I wrote this just to tell you how I feel. I can't believe that happened to me, but it's real. It's hard to get used to it, so it's the real. I don't know what it should be. Thank you for being there for me, Mom.
At Talitha Kumi, it's easy to forget that outside the school walls, peace remains stubbornly elusive, violence prevails, and hate is preached. Here, the pupils learn how to avoid the spiral of violence.
When you teach in a foreign country and open your eyes and your ears, you learn so much about the children who talk openly about the culture and life here. It's a unique experience and something I enjoy very much. I think it's wonderful.
Hans Niehaus writes the lyrics for his own musical compositions. The songs are not just imaginative, but also provocative. It's a very personal way of encouraging his pupils to think critically.
Die ganzen Bleichgesichter sind schlimme Bösewichter, doch kein Indianer ist so feig wie sie. Sie wollen das Land uns klauen, darum wollen wir sie verhauen, weil wir im Recht und wir die Stärkeren sind. Wir schleichen wie die Schlangen und nehmen sie gefangen, dann zittern sie und jammern in den Wind. Wir sind die gelben Nasen und schneller als die Hasen und kämpfen für die Freiheit der Prärie. Die ganzen Bleichgesichter sind schlimme Bösewichter, doch kein Indianer ist so feig wie sie.